Very good morning, everybody. We welcome you all for the day 3 immersive virtual reality. Okay, faculty development program. Now I just want to introduce about in our midst the speaker. He is the founder and CEO of LearnFella. Okay, I want to just tell him about few things about it. Mr. Sridhar leads the learning and development initiative at LearnFella, where he has spread the deployment of Industry 4.0 to revolutionize digital twin and immersive technology. Primary is focusing on virtual reality, augmented reality and mixed reality. His vision is to transform concepts in innovation, exert products that delivers exceptional, experimentally interactive learnings and significant returns on investment for clients. Well specialized in software like Utility and Fusion 360 on modeling and game development aspects. LearnFella prides itself on valuing innovative products, ideas and maintaining customer-focused business practices. Mr. Sridhar is an accomplished professional with a diverse educational background and successful career in mechatronics and robotics. He holds a master's degree in mechatronics and a bachelor degree in mechatronics engineering, providing him a comprehensive understanding of mechanical, electrical and computer science aspects that coverages in dynamic field on immersive reality. Additionally, he has completed a master program in IIT Delhi on Industry 4.0 integration, enabling him to engage effectively with a diverse audience. So we welcome you all. Yeah.
So we will be doing AR, augmented reality, mobile app development. Then afternoon session, so you will experience virtual reality. Then you will develop an small app for VR as well. Okay. So I want every participant to be very curious, so that any doubts, please raise up your hands. Myself and my trainer Kadravel, we will just come here and we will solve you if you face any difficulties. Okay, so we will go in a channelized method, so that if you are not going to follow up one step, it will be tough for you to follow up that. Okay, so just get your doubts clarified then and there. Clear? Fine. So how the session has been planned is, so today we will be doing these 9 activities. Okay, starting 1 and 2 is about image target. That is, in your augmented reality, I believe all the participants over here knows what is augmented reality, right? So I am going to jump directly into the session. Okay, so image target is very simple. You will have a reference image, right? On top of the reference image, you want your object to come, right? So when I use a term called object, that object is open to you. It can be any shape, it can be any custom characters, it can be anything which is designed in 3D modeling software and bought on top of your image. Okay, so that is the image target. So we will be doing 2 set of image targets. One is with the inbuilt image, the other one is with the image that you wanted to give, right? For suppose example, you wanted to design your own image processing, not image processing. If you wanted to design your own augmented reality app, you won't use the standard images. You want to use your images, right? So that is the second part. You will be using your own images to develop the augmented reality app. Okay. So this is the first 2, and 3 and 4 is about plane tracking, right? Every time user will not be having an image, correct? So how the image target works is, if you show an image, then the object comes on top of it, right? But in real scenario, every time we can't have that reference with us. Okay, so then we have to use a plane tracking method. The plane tracking method is very simple. You can use any horizontal surface to track, right? Wherever we go, obviously we are going to have some horizontal surface. So we want to take that horizontal surface as a plane. Then we want to place the object here, right? So there are 2 possibilities of you developing AR app in this workshop. One is using image target. The other one is using plane tracking, right? So for plane tracking, you don't require any image. You only need to show this is the surface. This is the horizontal surface. That is where the 3 and 4 is all about. And 5th is about developing VR environment. Okay, so this is how we are going to work with. And the main constraint to start with, for example, if I wanted to implement AR immediate aim is we are going to implement an AR. So what are the things that it is most important? First, find user's location. For example, I have built an app. That app should augment the object, right? That app should augment the object. It should know its location, correct? So where I am supposed to place my object, right? So that's the first thing. I should know in which location I should place my object. Your app should have some features or functionality to tell that this point you want to place your object, right? Number two, find user's orientation. In which orientation the object has to be. Just imagine you have a character. If I'm going to place the character here, if that person or a character is turning that side, it is so awkward, right? It has to turn and look into me, right? So orientation plays role in which orientation model that object should look into the camera perspective. That's number two. And then you should have your generated data. That's your app. Inbuilt features or your tons and tons of scripting languages. It's about the data that we will be building as an app. At the last, you will be having your augmented generated view. So you should know the location, you should know the orientation, you should have certain scripting, and finally you can able to experience the augmented generated user view. Okay, so these are the basic 4 steps. So we will go one by one as well. Okay. So maybe in yesterday class I said globally most of the people use any of these engines only. Okay, so either they go Unity or they go Unreal Engine or they go Euphoria, right? So these are the most commonly used game engines across globe. Okay, so for our workshop we will be using Unity and Euphoria. Okay, so there will be most of the times confusion in selecting the engine, right? I have seen most of the students project as well, even the industry project we face this problem actually. So which engine has to be selected for which kind of project, right? The answer, to put it in simple terms, if I don't have good system, if my model is not so high in terms of volume, and I don't need my model to be hyper realistic, right? If I have these 3 as answer, then I should touch Unity. So when a person goes to Unity is, I don't need a hyper realistic model, I'm going to work with low data and I want a user friendly approach, and it should be lightweight so that even my CPU can able to build the game, right? For that you can go for Unity. To put it in simple terms, 2D games which you see in Play Store and some 3D games that you see in Play Store which is lesser than 50 to 100 MB. So that kind of light gaming engines are developed in Unity, right? So just you might have, some might have even experienced GTA, like FIFA, NBA, right? So those models are very high, right? So even if you wanted to download, the file size will be like GB, right? 2 GB, 3 GB, right? So for that kind of higher level, then they go for Unreal Engine, correct? So that is the main differentiation when selecting your game engine for developing either AR or VR, right? Anything that matters, either AR or VR, you have to select from these two. Okay, but now we are going to use with Unity since we have a normal system, number 1, and second thing is we have a limited span of time. Within the limited span of time, I wanted to educate you guys on AR and VR, right? So we are going to work with Unity assets and Unity content, Unity as a software for you to develop an app, right? So this is the main differentiation of selecting your game engine, whether I wanted to go for Unity or whether I wanted to go for Unreal Engine. And also Unity, it has its own community support. It has a huge community support. But Unreal, yes, it also has community support, but not high and popular as Unity. Okay. And the third thing is about the pricing point. Okay. So whenever you procure some software for your development and everything, it will be having its own cost, correct? So all these softwares, I mean, this Unity and Unreal is open source platforms. Okay, so this Unreal and Unity is open source, unless otherwise you make some $5 million as your organization, you don't need to pay single penny, right? So you can develop any kind of app if you are going to use Unity and Unreal since it is open source. Okay, fine. Next. Okay. So now we are going to start our experiment. Okay, so as said, first one is we are going to create an app for image target. Okay, so for that the software that we are going to use is Unity. As a prerequisite, I want everyone to check in your system whether the Unity hub is installed or not. Just type your search and tell whether Unity hub is installed. Number one. I believe everyone, every system is being installed with Unity hub. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. Number two, check whether Unity app is installed. Unity app. Yes. Just type in and just enter a word called Unity. So you should see something else like this. So you should see something like this, Unity, right? So Unity app and Unity hub. So just ensure that whether you have these two softwares, these two apps are installed in your system. I believe for most of them it is there, correct? Unity hub and Unity app, right? Okay. So to get it started, maybe in the previous day, on Monday session and Tuesday session also, some speakers assisted you to develop your Unity ID, correct? So you wanted to create your ID. For example, if you wanted to access Facebook, you need your Facebook ID. Instagram, you need an Instagram ID. So very similar to that, for Unity you should have your own ID, and that ID will be used as an organization part. Okay, so that ID will be used as your organization address. Okay, so now I believe every participant over here have installed Unity Hub, Unity, and have your Unity ID. Is that clear? Is there anyone, if you have not created your Unity ID, I will just give some steps. Please try to create it. So this is your platform, Unity. So in products, select Unity engine. So go to user profile, sign in. It gets downloaded. So once you have that, first procedure is you have to download Unity Hub, then you have to download your Unity version, then you can start building your project. So with these steps only you have already been given with your Unity platform software which has been already installed. Okay, so this is your simple step, starting with Unity Hub, then you have to install Unity, then you have to have, with this sign itself you will have your own Unity ID. Okay. Okay. So now I am going to start the experiment, maybe like small exercise. Okay. I want everyone to first open Unity Hub. Okay. Just double click and open your Unity Hub. Just ensure that you are seeing a screen very similar to what I am showcasing here. Okay, just open your Unity Hub. So once you have your Unity Hub, first I need to check my organization ID. So your profile name should pop up here. Okay, so you should sign accordingly. Then just get into installs. Okay, we are going to build for Android mobile phones, right? I'm not going to develop an app for iOS, which will be very tough for me to check using your iPhone devices. So to make it very simple, we are going to build our application for Android mobiles. Is that clear? Fine. So now I have already installed this Open JDK and Android SDK. That is Android Software Development Kit. So that has been already installed in my system. So this is your last prerequisite. If everything is done, then we can directly jump into doing our experiments. Okay? So I just want to have a small count. How many of you are ready after this step? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Okay, so it's good. So others, if you are facing any issues, just raise up your hands. We will just come here and just check whether you are attaining this step. So with this only we wanted to start our experiments. Everything is installed, right? So I believe that no one is facing issues in this step. So which means all the software packages have been already installed. Okay. So if you are going to install in some other system, if you wanted to start from basic, first is creating your Unity ID, installing Unity Hub, then followed by installing Unity, then you have to install these editors, right? So this is the first step. So once you are done, then we are easy to get started with. So again I repeat, step number 2, check installs, add modules, and all these packages have to be installed. Okay? Fine. Now we are going to start a new project. Before that, you can clear your previous project. Okay? If you have some previous project, please remove from the list. Okay? We are going to start from the first, remove the previously build project. Why I am telling that step is, when you are building, you will build in the previously developed project. Okay? So remove all the projects which has been already listed in your system. Okay? So it should be clean like this. Done. So next 2 minutes I want everyone to listen. Then I will give time for you all to do it in your system. Okay? Step number 1, we are going to build a project. Okay? So as I said in the first slide, we are going to develop an image target. Okay? Click new project. In the new project list, you will have n number of sample templates. Okay? One of the beauty of using Unity is it has its own inbuilt templates. Whereas Unreal Engine is not having its own templates. Whereas Unity, since it's a user-friendly software which will have inbuilt templates, you don't need to start from zero. Whereas Unity helps you to start from midway. Right? So all the templates, we want to use templates according to our requirement. Okay? So now, as I planned, I wanted to build an AR project, correct? I wanted to build an augmented reality app. So which I am going to deal with some 3D models, correct? I am going to deal with some 3D models or 3D objects. So in that case, so this 2D is if someone who wanted to develop a 2D mobile application, okay? So a normal mobile 2D game or web-based application, then they go for 2D build. So in our case, we are going to develop augmented reality. So I am going to use 3D. So this universal is like complete end-to-end developers. End-to-end developers is they develop in Unity, they plug in the whole package into their own software. So for them, they will be using universal 2D and universal 3D. Okay. So but in our application, but in our project, we are going to take app as a standalone product. Okay. So when I get an app, this app only will showcase the object, which is not going to integrate with other softwares. Okay. If you wanted to develop some integration with some other, like for example, as I said for Amazon, right? So Amazon view in your space. So that concept is completely different. Okay. So for my case, I am going to build a standalone mobile application. Clear? So I am going to use 3D build in render pipeline. Okay. Once you click this, you can change your project name. Okay. Change your project name. I am going to use as image target. I am going to make the project name as image target. Okay. So here, if you have your own organization Unity ID, then this will automatically come over here. If this profile, initially I said no, if your profile is enabled, this Unity organization, Unity ID, this Unity ID will mention your organization. Once you have this, click create project. Okay. So once you click create project, then you can directly jump into your working window. Okay, Unity working window. So first time obviously it will take some time, depends upon the system. Depends upon the system configuration, the time will change. Okay, so only depends upon the system configuration, the time to load this kind of application will change. Right, so for you might be very faster, for me it's getting somewhat delayed. Okay. So if you have other drive called D, install in that. If you don't have D drive, then install in C drive. So actually I will just circulate this documents with you. Okay, so this is created in a way that you can easily follow up step by step. Okay, so I have just taken a snippets. Okay, so it will be easy for you to follow. For image target, the first step that we did is we have installed Unity. Second thing is we have added the modules which will be required for us to build an application. That is your Open JDK and Android SDK and your Microsoft Visual Community Studio. Then in all templates you have to get into 3D, that is built-in render pipeline, since we are going to develop an AR app. Okay, so this is a template. So once you do this, you are going to change the project name, then you have to select your organization, then create new project. Okay, so you have been created the new project. Now your window should be like this. Okay, so here I will start with major three window aspects. So left side you could see an hierarchy tab, right? So this manages all the scenes, all the UI controls, right? All the animations, all the asset contents, right? So this hierarchy window is mainly to showcase you about the scene configuration, correct? And this is your animator, game and scene window where we can do a live check how our scene is being built. Okay, so this is very similar to an 3D environment. So in this environment we will build our game or concept or anything into this, right? So this is your visual appearance of what you are building for your app. Okay, so this has three components: scene, game and animator. So animator takes care of your complete animation aspects, so which has to be triggered from first to end. The animation will be taken care by this window to view this. Game, once your app is being launched, how that feels. Okay, so that you can see in your game window. Scene is about your environment that we are designing initially. Okay, so these are the three 3D environment windows. So here is the inspector window. So this inspector window is mainly for triggering some controls. Second thing, it manages most of the transformation component. Transformation is, I have some object. For example, I will just tell what exactly the inspector window is. So I am going to build some object. Now I could able to double click. You could able to see some information in the inspector window, right? So this inspector window will give you complete information about any component in the hierarchy, right? Whatever component you place in your hierarchy, if you double click, it will automatically direct to the inspector window where you can see most of the information about that object. Okay, so every object will have, for example, if this is going to be cube, so I have some component relevant to transform, box collider, like, so I'm not going to get in detail now on this. So it will have some information about the game object. Okay, and this is your project window and console window. So any kind of content that you wanted to load into your environment, it will be added into your project window. For example, I wanted to develop a ball, right? That ball has to be showcased here, but it has to be loaded from your local drive to this project window. From project window, it will get into the hierarchy so that you can see the scene. Are you clear? Anything outside the Unity, if it has to come inside from this project window, then it will push to the hierarchy, then it comes to the scene. Is that clear? Anything, any package or any models or any kind of animations from local drive, it has to come to project window, right? So these are the very basic windows that you could able to see: hierarchy, inspector and project. So only three windows. Okay. So now with this we will just start a small project. Okay. So I believe now everyone got this window and you have opened this and everything is available now. So now, as I said, we are going to use Euphoria, correct? So Euphoria is they are now projecting as a game engine kind of web portal, but mainly Euphoria is being developed for industrial augmented reality, right? Euphoria is mainly targeting on industrial augmented reality, whereas Unity is a common for any kind of AR application. Okay, so why we are going to use some Euphoria packages, it will be very easy for the user to get it started. right? If you wanted to build from scratch, so then you should write your own scripting. Okay, I should write a script stating that my camera should find this is the surface, right? You can't develop a script from the basic to identify this is the surface, right? Rather we can take some package from outside, right? So that's what now we are going to do. We are going to get a support package from Vuforia and we are going to tailor made for our application, correct? So for that, now you are going to install a package called Vuforia from internet. Okay, so for that you should have your Vuforia developer portal account. Okay, so now we are going to create another one account called Vuforia developer portal account. Okay, I will just showcase the steps. Type in Vuforia developer portal. So if you type in Vuforia developer portal, you will be directed to the website. Okay, so in this website, first maybe I have already signed in. You can just get into your account, create your account. If you have not created, create your Vuforia account. Because we will be downloading some packages from Vuforia and we wanted to upload some of our images to Vuforia. So the task is everyone should create your Vuforia developer account. Okay. Get into login, create your Vuforia developer account. Click register now. So now once you have, just click this Vuforia engine, you will be directed to home page. Okay, so once you get into this, you could able to see this option called account, license, credentials and target manager. In that, there is one option called download SDK and tools. Here, please click download SDK. Okay, so in your account, you could able to see download SDK and tools. Please download this SDK. So once you click this, it will direct you to the other page which will ask you for which one you are developing. So as I said, we are building it for Android. Okay. So so mostly Android, iOS, you have individual. So but now we are going to download as a common package for Unity. Okay. Now we are going to download as a common package for Unity. Right? If I am going to only build for AR based mobile application as a core, then I should go for it. So now we are going to use a common template. Then please select this download for Unity. So click this download for Unity. Then I think you will like around 132 MB of file. Okay. Download the 132 MB file. So just click this. It will be downloading for Unity. So now your Vuforia package is ready for you to develop your AR contents. Okay. So the other step we are doing is downloading for your package, right? So once it is downloaded, we wanted to import it into your Unity, okay? I'll just tell you next step. Yeah, just download and wait. I will just tell you how to import. Okay, don't double click and open file in Unity. Okay, just download. I will just tell you how to import. Okay, the file size is 132 MB. Okay, so don't select this one actually. So you're not supposed to select this. Okay, so just click this. It will automatically download the 132 MB file. So, is everyone downloaded? Fine. So next is simple step. We wanted to import that Euphoria package into our Unity. Okay. So as I said, in your anything outside your Unity, which we want to bring it to the Unity software, we wanted to use this project window. Correct? So one thing you are going to do is right click. You will have an option called import package. In import package, select custom package. In the custom package, you will be seeing the downloaded 132 MB file. Okay? Click that. Click open. Right click. Import package. It will ask like this. Okay? Again, I will repeat. In your project window, right click. Import package. Custom package, then you have downloaded the 132 MB file, that is Euphoria package. Click that, click open. Once you click open, you should see a window like this. Yes? So then after this, you can click import and then it will ask for a small update. Yes? So, once you import it, please click update. Okay? So after updating, please wait. It will install the Unity package manager. Okay? Yes? Yeah, this is it. Have you imported the package? So actually, it's like if you enable that, already game has been started. So during that, you can't do it. Guys, as you could able to see some windows, buttons over here, right? Play, pass and forward. Don't touch this because this is, once we created a scene, then we will play the game and everything we wanted to check, right? So now at any cost, don't touch this. If you touch it, you will get errors because you can't import package, you can't do any changes with your environment. Okay, so just also ensure that there should be gray color. If you touch, it will be changing into blue color. Okay, so if it is blue, please tap it again, then it will automatically convert into gray color. Clear? So this is, as I said, this window is for showcasing your 3D environment game concept as a visualization. Okay. Fine. So once you have imported your package, you could able to see some editor scenes, right? In the editor scenes, so I am able to see some packages have been installed. Just to validate that, right click in your hierarchy window, you can able to see Euphoria engine here. Right click in your hierarchy window, you should see Euphoria engine here. If that is there, then we are good to go with. Okay, so here you should see your Euphoria engine. So that is the package that we have imported now. Okay, in your hierarchy window, right click. Okay, shall we start developing a small AR concept? Fine. I am going to go very slowly, step by step. It's a small recap. First we opened Unity, then we created a project. Just listen, it's a small recap. We have installed Unity, then we have opened a project which is 3D render pipeline. We have created a project. Then you have downloaded the Euphoria package. You have imported into your Unity, right? So these are the first 3 steps before starting your AR for Euphoria. Next. So now we are going to create the small image target. Fine. So this is actually the hierarchy window. Here we are going to create a concept. Now what is our concept is? This is the step number 1. Our concept is, I am going to show one image. On top of that image, I wanted to bring a cube, right? So this is the concept now we are going to build. Okay, whenever I showcase an image, automatically the cube should come onto the image. Okay, so that is the game, that is the AR concept that we are going to build now. Okay, so for that what we need is, I need some reference image and I need an object. Okay, so this content I need to add into my hierarchy window. First is right click, get into Euphoria engine, add AR camera. So now the camera that I am going to use is not a main camera, not similar to your mobile camera. I am going to use an augmented reality camera. Okay, that's called AR camera. So once I have my AR camera, then I don't need a main camera. I am going to delete the main camera. Okay, so right click, get into Euphoria, create AR camera. This is the step. Right click in the hierarchy window, go to Euphoria engine, create AR camera. Correct? Delete the main camera because we are going to take the input from this AR camera, not the main camera. Okay? Clear? So I will just take you very slowly. Delete the main camera. Because I want to share this document with you, right? So first is I deleted the main camera. Second thing is add AR camera and I need to add image target. Okay, so I need to add the image target. Right click, go to Euphoria, add image target. Okay, right click, Euphoria, add image target. Okay, now so in inspector window, I think you can able to see this information, correct? In your inspector window. Now I need to tell the image, right? Which image I wanted to ensure that some object has to be placed. Okay. So here image target behavior. In image target behavior, this option is where you can input your images. So now for the first experiment, we want to start with the images which is already there. Okay. So from image, rather you can just go for from database. Okay, there are 2 options here. From image means you can directly load image here. Okay, directly you can load any image that you want, but that is not the recommended way. We don't recommend directly importing image from local to project window, from project window to this part. We don't directly recommend. Why we don't directly recommend is, how a AR works is that image should have some differences, right? Just imagine if I have just a white color paper. It doesn't have any deviations, right? It won't tell that this is the picture. It is like something like white paper. So to check the image quality, we will use some other method. Whatever image that I am going to use, it should have its own quality, so that when I place in front of camera, the object should come, right? So always most recommended method, rather than loading directly image, always directly load from database. So the database can be in two ways. One is, while importing the Euphoria package, you will have your own database, or the other way is you can add your images into the database. So two ways. So first now is we wanted to use with the already available data. Okay. So here click from database. There is an option called import. Okay. Click import. Right. So next option is from database. From database, and it will ask for an option called import. If you click that import, you could able to see here, right? So the database is Euphoria Mars image, right? So actually, what is the database is? In your editor, Euphoria. This is the path actually. So what you have imported is in your project window. Double click on assets, double click on editor, double click on Euphoria, image target textures, Euphoria image. You have already these images with you. Okay? So you can just check your path, in this path whether all these images are there. The path is double click on editor, then double click on Euphoria, then double click on image target textures, then double click on Euphoria Mars image. Can you be able to see the 8 images? So from this database I have loaded one image. Okay, that's what I want to show here. So this is the database. So from this database I have loaded a file called astronaut. Okay. So there are n number of files. First I want everyone to choose astronaut. That's the first experiment. Whenever someone starts here, they work with that. Okay. So just select an image called astronaut. And okay with this step. So now as I said, I want to bring some object, right? So to bringing the object, where shall we move to the next step? Yes. So only thing is click right. Like in your hierarchy window, right click. There is a component called 3D object, correct? So in 3D object, click an object called cube. Okay? So just listen, now listen, then you can just follow. So once you click the object called cube, right? So now please zoom out because the cube size is very big. Okay? So that size is very big when compared with your image. Just zoom out. Okay? So now I'll just tell you some commands for making your movement like pan, zoom, and some kind of transformation controls. For example, if I double click the game object called cube, in right side there is an option called transform, correct? So what is the role of this transform is, it will help you to move the object. For example, this will move in Z direction. This blue color is Z direction, this red color is X direction, and this green is Y. Okay, so if I make everything 0, it will come to the origin position. Okay, so that is position. You can move the object anywhere in the scene. Next is rotation. That is X, Y, Z is rotation across X axis. For example, just imagine this is my X axis, this is my Z axis, for example, I'm telling. If I wanted to rotate across X axis means any object it will rotate with respect to this axis, right? If I give rotation across this, it is going to rotate with respect to this. So that's the term called rotation across X, rotation across Y, and rotation across Z. So now I'll just tell you what is rotation across X. So as I said, which one is the axis? This rectangle, correct? I'm going to make one. So the object is rotating with respect to X. Okay? So but for our application we don't use rotate, but I'm just explaining you about rotation. Scaling is most important. So you know, right, what is called scaling? Either you can enlarge the model or you can put your model in smaller size. So that's what the scaling factor is. If the scaling value is lesser than 1, that is 0.9, 0.8, it is going to reduce the scale, right? If the scaling is 1.2, 1.3, above which it is going to enlarge. So in our case we wanted to reduce, correct? We wanted to reduce the scaling, correct? So now there is an option called enabled constrained portion. There are possibilities where I can scale only in X or scale only in Y, scale only in Z. But for us, we can enable in the all three directions in same way. Okay. So first click the enable. Then I want to reduce the size as 0.06. You can able to see the changes happening in all actually, right? So if you enable that, the changes will happen in X, Y and Z.
Enable you tell them.
So this is just, if you could able to see, that is a change kind of link, right? So if that is enabled, if you change a value in one component, it will reflect automatically to the other. Okay? So I am going to reduce the scaling as 0.06. So now can you able to see it's somewhat fitting into my image. Okay? So it is somewhat fitting into my image. So now, as I said, object has to be on top of the, object has to be on top of the image, correct? So now you could able to see, right, half of the object is inside the image. So I wanted to change that, okay? So how we can change this? Just pull the arrow, that's it. So now you brought the object above your image, okay? So now you got your object above the image. So this is only because of these three commands. So still if you want to reduce, you can reduce. So now I think everyone load your object. Once you load your object, please do scaling factors or transformation to make your object on top of your image. Okay?
Transform with position 0.0258, Y is 0.0291, Z is 0.0273, rotation 000, scale 0.03, 0.03, 0.02.
Save your project. That's the first important tip. So you might build many games. If you don't save and if you build out as an APK, nothing will be there. Okay? So save your file whenever you complete some step. Control S. Simple. Now you want to mention the cube into a hierarchy, right? So drag the cube and place on top of the image target. So image target is a parent, cube is a child. Okay? So whenever image target is moved, automatically the child will move. Okay? So please, this parent child configuration is most important. Image target is the parent, cube is the child. So drag the cube and place on the image target. deploy, we'll build an APK file. But before that, I will just show demo in my laptop. So once this is done, I have saved the project. I am clicking this application, that is enable the game, because I have created a game. I have to save the file. But only thing is, if I could able to show an image, we have shown an image target, right? Astronaut. If I could able to show an astronaut file, this should automatically bring the cube. Okay? So now I'll just show an astronaut file. Can you able to see the cube? So the cube that you have made as an object. Okay? So it is not here. Correct? So I can move. Right? So in your case, you don't have camera in your systems. Correct? So now what we are supposed to do is, we want to build this concept. Now the concept is working. So that's what I said, we have to create this simulation scene to check whether our concept is working or not. So now in my case, so now it lost some information, right? It doesn't have any information where to place the object. Okay, so but when I again started, it will automatically grab. Okay, so now next step what we are going to do is, so now our file is working. So whatever you did, if this hierarchy is correct, your steps are correct. Now we want to take as APK file. What is called APK file? It's an Android application file. So now you will, after your tea break, we will take this as an APK in your mobile phone, install it, and you can check it. Okay? Yes. You can have your